I offer my pranams and gratitude to Revered Swami Prapandananda Ji Maharaj and namaskars to dear Swami Isha Dhyananand Ji Maharaj. Both of them have very kindly invited me here, arranged this retreat. Wouldn't have been possible without their kindness. And all of you, namaskar and welcome. I heard there were a very large number of people.
449.
Or 449.
Wanted to register.
So I think only about how many? 1/5 got
90
So
batches.
1/5. All right. But a lot of other people are watching online also. Let me start with a short prayer, then we'll get into today's subject. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness unto light. Lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. In Vedanta, we are told that we have had many lives like this one. We have been wandering in and out of life, birth, growth, aging, death, and again, repeat, again and again and again ad nauseum. And I personally think there is some merit to this view. This is a commonly held view in India. All sects of Hinduism, all of Buddhism, all of Jainism, all of Sikhism, all believe that we have had many lives. And that's not the good news. They are more or less repetitions of what we are seeing now. And the way to overcome limitation, suffering, is through God realization, through enlightenment. Many, many, many terms are there for that. Moksha, which means freedom. Mukti, which means freedom. Nirvana, Kaivalya, Apavarga. Many words are there. It's a quest, a project that the Indian civilization has been engaged in for millennia. And not just in India. If we take a broader view of religion everywhere, that is the view, not the view of many lives and freedom from cycle of birth and death, but that there is a higher truth to be attained, and that is the purpose of life. That much is common to all religions, all the major world religions. And these approaches, especially in India and Hinduism, we find a variety of approaches. So I'm taking the big picture and narrowing down to what we are going to do today. Variety of approaches. I am audible to all of you, right? Even at the back? Yeah. One approach is very well known, what one might call the theistic approach, that there is an ultimate reality, God, who created this universe, who looks out for us, and all we have to do is believe in God, have faith in God, and God will solve this problem of the limitation of human life, age and death and suffering. All of this will be solved by God. God will take care of it. That's one way. And that might be called the theistic way, the God way. It depends on believing in God. And the method there would be bhakti or devotion, faith, worship, adoration, love. The problem with this approach is it's open to skepticism. It can be difficult, especially in this day and age. There always have been skeptics throughout human history in all civilizations, but none more than what we have today. This is the age of Richard Dawkins and Christopher Hitchens and Sam Harris and so on, Daniel Dennett and so on, the militant atheists. But it doesn't have to be just militant atheists. In every believer's heart, there's always a core of doubt. So that is a problem with God-oriented approach. Unfortunately, that's not the only approach open to us. There's another approach, not faith, not belief, but experience. An approach which is peculiarly suited to the needs of this day and age. We want experience. We want to see for ourselves. Like Vivekananda, Narendranath Datta, he goes to Sri Ramakrishna with the question, have you seen God? Not whether you believe in God or does God exist. Have you seen God? Can we actually experience God? So that is what one might call the path of yoga, the path of mysticism, with certain practices, not belief, not faith in God, but the central practice there is certain exercises, psychophysical exercises one undergoes, and the result would be extraordinary experiences which prove to us the claims of religion. As Vivekananda said, if God exists, I should be able to see God. If I have an immortal soul, I should be able to feel it, not just as an article of faith, but a matter of experience. But note the fine print. The fine print is extraordinary experience, mystical experience. And there is a problem there too. A neuroscientist would immediately say, we don't doubt that you are having extraordinary experiences, but the explanation is not that you are one with the universe or that you are seeing God or you are experiencing your immortal soul. It just is, the real reason is you are high. There's a renewed interest these days, there always has been a renewed interest these days in the effects of hallucinogens and effects of psychotropic substances and so on. So you can have extraordinary experiences. What does that prove? It could, but it need not. It need not be drugs. It could be you are having a stroke. There's a famous TED talk of this neuroscientist who actually had a stroke, and then she felt one with the universe. Are you one with the? And it could also be a transformative experience. Does that literally mean you're one with the universe? That is open to question. And it's not just modern neuroscience. It's not just drugs today. It's not just California. Throughout the ages, throughout the centuries, ages, mystics of all traditions have always been sort of, questioned and dismissed as crazy people. Sri Ramakrishna in his own lifetime also, half the people around him thought he was just mad. And that has been a lot of mystics throughout history. Now, I'm setting up the context for another approach to God realization, enlightenment, to freedom from suffering. The third approach which I want to distinguish here for our purposes today is what might be called the approach of the path of knowledge, Jnana Yoga. Distinguishing it from the path of devotion, distinguishing it from the path of mystical experience or yoga, is a path of jnana, knowledge. Now that does not mean that there is no element of yoga or mystical experience in this path, that there is no element of devotion, and that would be a wrong reading. There's a very important role of devotion, of faith, there is a role for meditation, spiritual experiences, absolutely. But we would be doing this path an injustice, and we would be doing ourselves an injustice if we did not see it in its uniqueness. What is the speciality, the unique feature of this path? So this is the path we're going to talk about in this retreat today. Is that you are the ultimate reality of the universe, Brahman. We are that. And the teaching, Tat Tvamasi, that thou art. When? After enlightenment? No, right now. You are that. We all are that absolute reality, and it is actually all right. But we don't see things as they are. We don't know who we truly are. So the question, inquiry into ourselves. Why an inquiry? Inquiry because the problem here is ignorance. And ignorance is removed by knowledge. And knowledge is generated by inquiry. And all of this is pretty simple. We know it all the time. If I don't know something when that particular flight departs, I have an ignorance about that. And so I make an inquiry about it. When does that particular flight depart? I ask the computer or the mobile phone, and I'm informed. I get knowledge that removes my ignorance about the departure time of that particular flight. That's it. It's as simple as that. Notice, the method, the path differs according to your paradigm of spiritual life. What do I mean by that? If your paradigm of spiritual life is God exists, then the path will be the problem will be I don't have faith in God. The solution will be I must have faith in God. Lack of devotion is the problem. Devotion and faith and surrender are the solution. If the paradigm is that my sensory experience here reveals to me this world, and there is an extrasensory extraordinary experiences which will reveal to me the deeper truth about myself and the world, then I must get those extraordinary experiences. But if the paradigm is that ignorance is the problem, I do not know the reality about myself right now, then the solution must be knowledge. And the method must be inquiry. This is a book of inquiry. By the way, I just want to add, before we jump into the method of inquiry, is this knowledge which we are looking for, knowledge about ourselves, our reality, inner reality. This can come, the royal path, the highway is this path of inquiry. It gives you direct experience, a direct realization of the truth which is promised here. But also, it must be added, devotion to God can give you that knowledge. If God wants, God can give us that knowledge and we'll be enlightened. And a classical non-dualist should have no complaint, because after all, if the goal is knowledge, goal is removal of ignorance. If the knowledge comes through the path of inquiry in this traditional method, very good. But if it comes through the grace of Guru, grace of God, what complaint should we have? Does non-dualist have? No complaint at all. As long as you have knowledge, that's it. If it comes through extraordinary experience, profound samadhis, which reveal to me, give me the knowledge of who I am, what should be the problem? There should no problem there. And the traditional non-dualist should have no complaint there also. Having said that, the path of the Upanishads, the traditional foundational texts of Vedanta are the Upanishads. The royal road, the highway, is the path of inquiry. In Sanskrit, vichara, inquiry. Vedanta is based on the Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita, the Brahma Sutras, and on the commentaries written on these by Adi Shankaracharya, and on a whole host of texts which set forth the path, like this text. This is a minor text, Drigdrishya Viveka. Probably, we don't know the author exactly, but it's probably Vidyaranya, about 700 years ago in the south of India, in the Vijayanagar kingdom. He's probably the author of this little text. Why this text? Well, first of all, it's little. And second, it presents the whole teaching in a direct and dramatic fashion. The most important verse in this book is the first one, which we will do right now. It's like an atom bomb. It's like a spiritual bomb, bombshell. It bursts upon you with tremendous force. It goes directly to the heart of the matter. Before we dive into this, what we'll do is I'll talk about the essential teaching in this session and some very important points, some deep insights in the next session. And each session will be followed by a Q&A, questions. But in the limits of this program, I cannot and I should not try to cover the whole text, even though it's a small text. But that's no problem at all. This is, I have talks on this text. If you look it up on YouTube, 12 lectures. There are different series. There's a 6-lecture series, there's a 12-lecture series. Go for the 12-lecture series because it takes up each verse. 46 verses in this book. 31 are the teaching. The first 31, from verse 1 to verse 31 is essential teaching. Some people say the remaining verses were like an add-on later on. Anyway, 46 verses. I've taught each verse in detail in those 12 lectures. So you can go back to those 12 lectures and take a look. But the essential teaching will be given here. Before I jump into it, the core idea, 2 points. One, a caution. This is a text, and the teaching is in the tradition of Advaita Vedanta, non-dual Vedanta. But what we will learn today in this session and the next one, if you think carefully, if you notice, it's not non-dualistic. It will still feel dualistic. Because we cannot go to the level of non-dualism in this short retreat. That's a caution. Why not? Well, we must be introduced to that ultimate reality first, apart from everything else that we experience, apart from this world, apart from the body and mind, the core as it were. And to understand that all pottery is clay, I must first forget the pot and look at the clay itself, to understand this is clay. To understand all the waves in the Pacific Ocean are water, I must first forget waves and bubbles and foam and consider what water is, to know that all the jewelry, it is gold. I must first forget necklaces and bracelets and rings and think about gold. So I must first be introduced to the reality. That introduction to the reality, the vital step, it will be done today. That's what we'll do. But remember, the caution is, that's not the whole story. The second step would be that everything else that we set aside now, we will set it aside now. Everything else that we have set aside now, from the perspective of the ultimate reality to which we will be introduced in this session, from that perspective, when we look back, we will see all of that is nothing other than the manifestation of this ultimate reality. Nothing other than the radiance of this ultimate reality. Nothing other than you, the ultimate reality. The entire universe and whatever you experience in life. They are not a second reality. They do not constitute a second entity apart from you. No second, non-dual. And therefore, Advaita, non-dual. So that's the whole story. We will not get to that today. But keep it in mind. Otherwise, I will do you an injustice. It will feel great, but I will have given you only half the story. And classical teachers have actually had complaints from traditional monk teaching Advaita Vedanta in Benares, who took all the trouble of calling me up. Swami, what you are doing is it's all very powerful and exciting and direct, but you must complete the story. You must bring them to non-duality. Don't leave them with the dualistic, and pure consciousness witnessing the world. No, that's not Advaita Vedanta. So that's the caution. The second thing is the method. I'm going to talk. It's not a lecture. This is something crucial to understand. In Advaita Vedanta, what's going to happen is already practiced. If you were attending a course on the Yoga Sutras, it would be a lecture. You would gather information and would be expected to practice it later. If you don't practice what you have learned in a yoga class, it's not spiritual practice. It's a lecture. It's information. But what we are doing now, we are going to go into now, is already spiritual practice. It is the central spiritual practice. You know what? A lecture is a central spiritual practice? Not quite. It is called Shravana. Shravana is hearing the truth. Is hearing a direct instruction and the truth which goes to the heart of the matter, to hear it attentively, carefully, to study it systematically. That is Shravana. What did he say? What does the text say? That should be the first thing we do. And then hearing it, getting the information, downloading this into our mind, then you cogitate, reflect upon it. The second step is manana. Do I get it? Second step. What are my doubts? Every possible doubt. If you say, I don't have any doubts, well, we'll provide doubts for you. We'll raise as many questions which you could have never thought of. And then the third step, after I've heard it all and I've got it, third step would be, is it real for me? Or is it just a nice philosophy? It has to be real for you. It's talking about something that's real right now. So it should feel real, and it should solve my problems. Has it solved my problems? So that's a tall order, Swami. Yes and no. I don't want to be unduly optimistic. There's no use being pessimistic either, but no use getting a false sense of optimism either. But this is the claim that Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, this is the method. And when we are studying this now in the next few minutes, it's already spiritual practice. So, 3 questions. What did he say? What does the text say? Second, do I get it? If I don't, ask the question. Formulate the question first. Ask and solve it to your satisfaction. Clarity. Having heard the teaching, having got it, stay with it. That can go and should go beyond this classroom until it becomes a living reality. See, the claim here is it is already a living reality. It's our problem that we don't see it to be so. When it becomes a living reality, you'll see that not that I was this person earlier, now I am this impersonal, immortal awareness. No, you'll see that I always was that. I never saw that earlier. Now I just see it. But I haven't started yet. Now we're going to jump into it. So Drigdrishya Viveka, the first verse. I will chant it. If you have books, if you like, you can chant along with me. But remember, the Sanskrit is not essential. I translate every word, everything we can do without it. But I always feel it's good to hear the original language. It's good to hear the sounds of the original Sanskrit. Okay. If you like, you can follow me. I'll chant and you can chant after me. Rupam drishyam lochanam drik. Rupam drishyam lochanam drik. Tadrishyam driktu manasam. Tadrishyam driktu manasam. Drishyadhivrittaya sakshi. Drishyadhivrittaya sakshi. Drigeva natu drishyate. Drigeva natu drishyate. Alright. As I said, a bombshell of the first verse. It takes us straight to our real nature. What will we do? This verse, like the Sanskrit shlokas, they have 4 quarters. So 4 stages. In 4 steps, we get to the answer to the question, who am I? Not just answer in words, it's directly pointed out. Every step is an experience. So at every step, in the 4 steps, at every step, I should ask myself, what did he say? Do I get it? Is it real? What did he say? If you can't answer that, here, repeat, listen. And if I don't, do I get it? If I say, no, I don't really get it, think about it, ask questions, discuss it with others, think it through yourself, ask questions to the teacher. And the third thing is, I've heard it, I get it, is it real? Is it a fact for me right now? If not, then stay with it until you can say affirm, yes, it's a fact. If it is a fact, congratulations, you are enlightened. Now, as we go into this verse, what is this verse about? What is the technique here? What is the path we are following? Inquiring. Inquiring. It's not something to be done. It's not something to be believed. It's not a new experience we're looking for. I think it was in Ulysses that not to see new things, but to see old things with new eyes. So, old things means this very life with new eyes. So that experience it's going to come. If the classic example of the rope and the snake, what exactly are you going to do to see that apparent snake as a rope? Are you going to go and hit it with a stick? Are you going to say, shoo, get away from here? No, you're going to inquire into it. What is it? And that will show you that it's just a rope, not a snake. You remember the classic, you're all veteran, not well Sarvapriyananda. You have been hearing rope and snake forever. So you're not supposed to do some action, karma, no. Inquiry. You're not even supposed to believe it. You're not even supposed to meditate. Oh, he's telling me it's not a snake. Let me not look at it. Let me imagine it's a rope, it's a rope, it's a rope. No. You open your eyes. Look at it. In fact, take a closer look. What is it? That looking, taking a closer look, what is it? That's what we're going to do now. But not for a thing like a rope or snake, into ourselves. How will we do that? The operating principle here is, whatever you see, that is not you, the seer. The seer and the seen are 2 different things. Very simple fact. We all know it. We're just going to use it. It's going to be like a lever by which we will prise open the box of ignorance to reveal the diamond of knowledge inside. So the lever we're going to use is this. The seer and the seen are different. And remember, because the last result is non-duality, we're going to let go of this principle also later. But first of all, right now, what's going to help us is seer and the seen are different. What do I mean by that? It's as simple as I'm looking at this book. The eyes are looking, the book is something that I'm seeing. The book must be different from the eyes. Different means physically distinct. What the eyes see are things which are distinct from themselves. It's the only thing that the eyes cannot see are the eyes themselves. Yes, the eyes themselves. You just see. So you can take a look in the mirror, Swami. That's a reflection of the eyes. The eyes do not see themselves in the mirror the way they are seeing the book directly. The eyes cannot see themselves directly. You see a reflection, sure. You can see your eyes in a selfie, sure. That's a picture. So the seer can see things which is different from the seer. The knower can know things different from the knower, distinct. By different I mean distinct. This is the principle we will hold on to. Whatever you experience must be in some sense distinct from you because you are experiencing it. Just because you see it, it can't be the eyes. It is something different from the eyes. So seer and seen are different. That's the principal thing we will use. Alright. Now when we look at the first quarter of the verse. Rupam drishyam lochanam drik. Forms are seen and the eyes are the seer. It starts in a very naive way, a very simple way. No philosophy here. Stay with it. Is it a fact? Notice that the forms are different. Forms means not only shapes but colors. Literally it means colors, but also shapes. And all we see people and chairs and tables. Don't you see all this, Swami? Not really. If you think about it, all you're seeing is color and shape. Even depth perceptions are all later added by the brain. Modern neuroscience is revealing so many things about vision, the epistemology and psychology of vision. So color and shape is all that we see. Those are form, rupa, and that is distinct from the seer, from the eyes, is separate. Not only that, notice that the forms are many. I see ochre and blue and red. I see tall and short and all sorts of forms, all sorts of colors, a variety of forms. Same eyes. The seer is one, the seen are many. And third, the seer is one, the same eyes, and the seen keep changing. The unchanging seer sees many things which are changing. Before you came into this hall, you saw so many things outside in the freeway. And now you're seeing so many things here. And after some time, you see so many different things. So seer and seen the seen keeps changing. The seer is unchanging. The seen are many. The seer is one. And the seer and the seen are distinct, different. Applied to the eyes and the forms, you will see, yes, check, 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 correct. So, what the Vedanta, what this verse is doing is, it starts with the inquiry. The process of inquiry starts with the most simple, most acceptable. Nobody will have any kind of doubt here. They're very clever and subtle that way. They'll draw you in. You say, yeah, that's simple. Get on with it. Very soon you'll be in so deep, and you'll say, wait for a minute. This is extraordinary. But by that time, you don't find ground beneath your feet anymore. You're in very deep water by that time. So the first step is very simple. We all feel, yeah, get on with it. This is very simple. Then the next quarter comes. We go deeper. Tad drishyam driktu manasam. Consider the eyes themselves, which saw all these forms, which are seeing all these forms. My eyes are open, my eyes are closed, I need glasses, and so on. We know quite a bit about our eyes, and not just the eyes, all our sense organs, which give us information about the world. We know quite a bit about them. I used to see so well, but I don't have 20/20 vision anymore. A few years ago, I was not seeing too well. I went to the eye doctor in New York, and he said, there's something seriously wrong. I said, what happened? You are 40, Swami. So once you hit 40, that is a serious problem. You're getting older. But one of the most common, symptoms of the serious disease called 40s is that you don't see too well anymore. You need glasses. So I know the eyes which saw without glasses, now they need glasses. I can clearly see. Because the mind sees all of this above the eyes, the seer in this, now the quotes, within quotes, the seer is the mind. It must be different from the eyes. Seer and seen are different. Walk with me at each step. If you don't walk with me, just listening to a nice lecture won't work. If you walk with me, it's exciting because you will get the feeling of going deeper and deeper at every step. So, is it a fact that the mind is distinct from the eyes? There's a peculiar way of expressing it, Swami, but yeah, I'll give you that one. The mind, whatever it is, certainly not these eyes, something different from the eyes. And the mind knows the eyes. Remember, all of this is an inquiry into who am I. So when you're saying, I see the form, where are you? Are you in the form out there, or are you here somewhere near the eyes? I'll see, yeah, I'm somewhere here. Now the mind is the seer and the eyes are the seen. Where are you? Are you on the side of the eyes, or are you on the side of the mind? You'll probably say, I'm on this side, Swami. I'm not out there. I'm in here. I am the mind considering my eyes. The eyes are seeing. The mind is distinct from the eye. The seer is distinct from the seen. Now seeing is figurative sense. It's in the sense of knowing. The mind knows the eyes. Not only that, it knows the eyes and the ears and the skin and the tongue and the nose. All the five senses are known by the mind. Same mind knows all the variety of senses. In fact, the entire body. And through the body and the senses, the mind knows the world. So the mind, the same one mind, the seer is one, the seen are many. And relatively, the seer is unchanging and the seen are continuously changing. The same mind knew the eyes with 20/20 vision. And the same mind now knows the eyes with glasses, the eyes when they're 40 years old, 40 plus. So the same mind. You might say, just a minute, Swami, hold on. The mind changes a lot. How can you say the unchanging seer and the changing seen? The mind changes a lot. Yes, but mind changes into mind. Thoughts into more thoughts. So the mind remaining the mind, whatever it is unchanging with respect to itself, and the seen are changing. Again, the same thing. Seer and seen are distinct. They're different from each other. The seer is one, the seen are many. The seer is unchanging, the seen are changing. Again, at this point, ask yourself, what did he say? Okay. Second, do I get it? Yeah, very simple. I get it. Third, is it real? Is it a fact? Is it an experience right now? Or do I have to do 20 years of meditation in the Himalayas to see that the mind and the eyes are different? No, it's a fact. It's an experience right now. All right. Third stage. We go to the third stage. At this point, someone will be going, what were the first two stages again? Eyes are the seer, forms are the seen. Stage 1. Eyes are seen and the mind is the seer. Stage 2. Stage 3. Consider the mind itself. Thoughts, emotions, ideas, memories, even the sense of I. When I say, who am I? That's also in the mind. It's a thought. The traditional division of the mind into intellect and memory and cogitation and ego, mana buddhi chitta ahankara. It's all mind. Let's just call it a broad umbrella term. It's all mind. It's all internal mind. What do I mean by internal? I don't mean physically in there. If it's physically in there, the doctor can cut you open and see the mind. No, the doctor will just find the brain and the nerves and all. So the mind is internal in the sense it's first person, available only to you, nobody else. Well, if provided the other one is not a telepath, it might be available. But still, it's available to us individually, directly. So that's the mind. And it's a complex thing of many things: thoughts, feelings, emotions, ideas, memories, ego. It's drishya. It is experienced. What do you mean? The most obvious thing. When I'm unhappy, I feel unhappiness. When there's a pain, I feel the pain. Physical pain and mental pain. When I remember something, I know I remember it. When I cannot remember, it becomes even more distinct. That there's the tip of tongue phenomenon. It's there. I can't get. You are experiencing the memory. That's the failure of memory or the success of memory. Ideas, understanding, comprehension, lack of comprehension. All of these are experienced by all of us all the time. There's nobody here who can deny that. We are experiencing our own minds. But then the point the author wants to make here is, if you are experiencing your own mind, then the mind is something that is experienced. It's an object. An object to whom? To what? Let's just call it the witness of the mind. That which is experiencing the mind right now. Why do you say such a thing is there? Because of our principle, the seer and the seen must be distinct. If you have to admit that you are experiencing your own mind. If you say that, if you admit that, then you are the seer of your mind, the knower of your mind. If you know your mind, you are the witness of your mind. And that must be distinct from the mind. Somebody said, no, why can't the mind witness itself? Literally, it can't witness itself. If you have a thought, say a flash of happiness, and to know that I am happy, so yeah, Swami, why not that another thought is making that thought an object? Some people think a little more deeply, you might think that. And that sometimes happens. It's called introspection. Thinking about my own inner states. But notice, even when you are not thinking, here's a crucial experiment, even when you are not thinking about your mind, are you not experiencing your mind? Am I happy or sad? Even without thinking that. Flash of happiness, flash of sadness, it's all immediately already cognized, experienced. After that, you can introspect about it all you want. So it's directly experienced by something without further thinking about it. Alright, another test that is not the mind experiencing the mind is that suppose there is a complete vacuum, a thoughtless state, a deep meditation, for example. Stop, no thought. But that was also experienced. And if you admit there was no thought, then the mind was not thinking. The mind was not active. And yet that inactive and thoughtless mind is also experienced by what? You can't say it's the mind anymore because that is not thinking. Mind is experienced. Presence of the mind is experienced. Absence of the mind is experienced. So that which is the seer of the mind must be distinct from the mind. It just calls it, the author calls it, prefers to call it sakshi, witness. Awareness which illumines. Witness only in the sense of, not an activity, in the sense of illumining the contents of the mind. The presence of thoughts or even the absence of thoughts or emotions or ideas or memory. That seer of the mind, the sakshi, must be distinct from the mind. And being distinct from the mind, all the different thoughts, the seen are many, the seer is one. That sakshi, witness being one, the mind has many, many thoughts, many emotions, many ideas, many memories. So all the varied contents of the mind are seen by one seer, you. Not only that, the mind changes continuously. The seen are continuously changing. Clearly we see that the mind changes continuously throughout the day, and throughout our lives, and yet the consciousness is one. The witness, I'm calling it witness, awareness, consciousness is one. You're trying to slip in a term. Don't think that we didn't notice. Call it what you will. It must be of the nature of awareness or consciousness because you are aware of it. So this witness consciousness, witness awareness, it is unchanging and the mind is changing continuously. The seer, the ultimate seer, this witness consciousness is distinct from the mind. It is one and it is unchanging. This is the third step. Again, ask yourself 3 questions. What did he say? Second, do I get it? What he is trying to say. Third, is it a fact for me right now? So at this point, many will look quizzical and many will say, no, it's not a fact. Yeah. If it were a fact, that would be great. That would be great. It is a fact, but we don't see it as a fact. That's the claim of the author. It's as much a fact as the eyes are different from the forms. As much a fact as the mind is different from the eyes, which we all signed up for. We acknowledged. We agreed to it earlier. Right now, I am the witness consciousness, illumining the contents of the mind. That's also equally a fact. But it seems new to us, because we never thought about it that way. It seems weird to us, that I am actually, if they're different, if the consciousness, if the witness is different from the mind, then I am different from the mind. Then I am not the mind. I am not the contents of the mind. And this is not the way we are used to thinking. We are used to thinking, most educated, sensitive, grown-up people, we think we are minds in a body. We are embodied persons. When we say, I'm a person, what do I mean? Here's a body, and I'm somehow associated in this body, embodied. I am most clearly or most convincingly, you might describe me as a mind. Thoughts, emotions, ideas, history, personal memories, personal story, narrative, desires. This is how I see myself without reflecting. But upon this inquiry, what it's revealing to me is I must be this impersonal awareness. I'm aware of the mind. I'm illumining the mind. I'm aware of the person, but I'm not the person per se. In Vedanta, it would be accurate to say that not that the person gets freedom, but you get freedom from the person. It's not that the person goes away. It's not that the mind goes away. Not that the body goes away. Not that anything in the world goes away. But you clearly see, first step, you are not it. You are not an object. I am not an object. Everything else that we experience in the world, in our lives, is an object. Object to what? To you, the awareness. Not that it should be an object, it is a fact that it's an object. That's the only way it works. By object, I just mean something that appears in awareness, something that is experienced or illumined by the witness, Sakshi. Here itself, I would ask you to notice this consciousness. Let's just call it consciousness. This consciousness. Which consciousness? You. The seer of the mind. Thoughts come and go, good thoughts, bad thoughts, same consciousness, same seer of the mind. Perceptions come and go. You see so many things, they're all revealed by the same consciousness. You hear so many things, all revealed by the same unchanging consciousness. We smell, taste, touch, so many things, so many experiences, all revealed by the same consciousness. Isn't it true that though all the things we see differ from each other, and they differ from the sounds that are heard, which also differ from each other, and they differ from the flavors and the smell and the touch which we have, 5 senses, extraordinary range of inputs from the world. Is it not true that it's all appearing to one consciousness? You. And is it not true that all of those are objects and they're different from that one consciousness? Is it not true they are changing, and that one consciousness is not changing? Things in the world change, things in the body change, things in the mind change. You do not change. You reveal all of that. And this whole waking experience disappears, and a dream starts. When we fall asleep, there's a dream world. Whole world goes away. Even the body goes away, from my experience. When I fall asleep, that's a way of phenomenologically describing sleep. That it goes away from my experience. This external world is body. And a dream world comes up. And I know that's a dream world only upon waking up later. There's a dream world which comes up with a body. But the consciousness which experienced the waking continues to experience the dream. It's the same consciousness. And it's distinct. What we experience in the dream is distinct from that consciousness. It appears and disappears. And it changes. And then deep sleep, according to Advaita Vedanta, everything shuts down. No object is presented anymore. Or you can call blankness is the object right there. Even the mind shuts down. There's no experience of the external world. There's no experience of the body. There's no experience of the mind. So Advaita Vedanta would say, you are still there. You, the awareness. Revealing just the absence of everything. That's deep sleep. And again the waking comes back. All throughout you, one consciousness. Now note one more thing about this consciousness. I said, this is great. I would like to know this. Please introduce me to the real me. I would like to know this consciousness. Alas, you cannot know it. What do you mean? I drove all these hours and hours from the Bay to come here and listen to you to tell me that you're going to introduce me to myself. And I say, I can't know myself. Why did I come out here? The verse says, Drigeva natu drishyate. The seer never becomes the seen. The subject, the pure subject, the ultimate you, you never become an object, and that's good news. If you became an object, then what would be the subject? If you became the known, what would be knowing you? The knower is never the known. The seer is never the seen. The pure subject, the ultimate subject, never becomes an object, and that's great. That tells us where to look for ourselves. You know the great French philosopher Descartes. His great project of skepticism, finding out a sure basis for all knowledge, to doubt whatever could be doubted until he could find something that can never be doubted. You know how it ended, the project? It ended with, I myself. I cannot be doubted. Even to doubt, I must think. Cogito ergo sum, that I think, therefore I exist. My very thoughts reveal to me my existence. So in a Harvard philosophy class, we were discussing this. I said, let's push it a little further. Is it that I think, therefore I exist, or I exist, therefore I think? What do you mean? The professor asked. Notice, when Descartes falls asleep, he stops thinking in deep sleep. Does he disappear? I do not think, therefore I don't exist. Is Descartes created anew every time he wakes up? Or is it more logical to say Descartes, the self, the awareness, reveals all thoughts, all cogitations, and reveals the absence of cogitations also? I exist, therefore I think. I exist, therefore I do not think. Both thinking and not thinking are revealed by this one existence. What is the nature of that existence? Curiously, this is one part which people don't quote, but I found it very poignant. I was reading the Meditations of Descartes, and there in one part he writes, not in the original French, in English translation, in one part he says, quite poignantly, he says, how curious it is that which I am that which I know so much about, I'm not at all certain of that. And that which I'm certain of, I know nothing about it. What do I know so much about? This world. Science, religion, art, Facebook, I know all of it. But I'm not certain of it. It could be a dream. It could be a dream. What's the one thing that I'm certain of? My own existence. But what do I know about it? Nothing. And then he does not pursue it any further. Then he goes ahead. He goes to a different, his whole project was how to put all knowledge on firm foundations. So next he says that the firm foundation is I exist, that's the firm foundation. And now, how do I know the world exists? How do I know science is true and all that? He goes into it and he says God is showing me all that. God cannot be deceiving, so it must be true. I still remember our professor, she said, notice how the standards of proof have distinctly slipped. In philosophy, the cogito ergo sum is a very tight argument. That's why it survives to this day. A lot of people know about it. Even if you're not a philosopher, you've heard about it. Descartes and this cogito ergo sum. But the rest of his work, most people haven't heard of it. Even many philosophy students don't bother reading any of that. And for good reason. In Hindi they say dhila, loose. So the argumentation becomes much looser there. What Vedanta, what this book does is, there, when Descartes says, I don't know anything about it, and goes on, it stops there and digs deeper there. This one, which is not an object, therefore Descartes says, I can't know anything about it. Drigeva natu drishyate. This non-objective awareness, this witness consciousness, what can we know about it? Well, first we can know one thing, for sure. It is awareness, clearly. And not speculative, you feel it, that I am aware. Second, we know it doesn't change. Objects change. That doesn't change. Third, and not only it doesn't change. Here I'll add something which is important for those who study Buddhist philosophy. If you study Buddhist philosophy, it's immediately a mark of unreality. Anything that doesn't change is not real. There's a reason for that. So if you're saying, oh, your Atman, Sakshi, witness doesn't change, it's a fiction. There's no such thing. Remember, when the Vedantin says Atman or Sakshi, this witness, does not change, it does not mean that it's an entity which persists for a really long time. It persists through time, it exists for a very long time, unchanging, well preserved, forever 21. Not like that. It doesn't mean that. It means it is that awareness to which even time is an object. It's beyond the categories of changing and unchanging. You can call it an eternal present, a point which is eternally shining. But even eternal is a time word. Accepting time, we say that this witness is unchanging. But actually even time is an object to this witness consciousness. It's only in awareness that the whole process of time is revealed. Alright. So this awareness is one, unchanging, revealing everything, and it is not an object. Not an object. Everything is an object to you, but you are not an object. When we chant a hymn to Sri Ramakrishna, Yo vetti sakalam nachayasya vetta buddhista sakshi. One who knows everything, one who illumines everything, one who sees everything, but one whom nobody knows or sees or illumines. We are addressing God, we are addressing Avatara, Sri Ramakrishna. But what is the deeper meaning of that? It's you. It's the real I. It's the witness consciousness. Every day in the hymn, in the evening arati, we sing in the shrine, Jyoti ra Jyoti Ujala Vidikantara, the light of lights shining in the hearts of all. What are we talking about? We think we are singing to God. Oh, God is in our heart. But what is that God in our hearts? What is that light of lights? How do you see this light? With the eyes, Swami. Well, how do you know that you have eyes? With the mind, Swami. How do I know that I have a mind? Awareness. You know because you are awareness. That is the light of lights. Awareness is the light of lights. You shining, all of these lights are revealed. By your light, this universe is lit up. It's not poetry, just a statement of fact. That light you are. One more point, then we will do a little exercise. Having come to this point, notice the beauty of this, the utility of this. What good does this do? How does this solve our problems? The whole goal was going beyond suffering. The whole goal was moksha, freedom, mukti. Let's see how it works. Vedanta, there is one answer to all questions, one solution to all problems. Oh, what is that? You already got it. This is the answer. Death. We are all afraid of death. We are all afraid of aging. Death is death of the body. Aging is aging of the body. Not of consciousness. In Advaita Vedanta, one principle to understand is that you keep things where they belong. Who is the Japanese lady? Marie Kondo? Simplicity or something? So that sounds like a rule from Marie Kondo, not from Vedanta. But it's a very Vedantic rule. Keep things where they belong. Where does old age belong? In consciousness or in the body? Let's take it something simple. All worried about putting on weight. I must lose weight. Where does weight belong? Is the body heavy or is consciousness heavy? Body. Weight belongs to the body. I am aware. I'm not denying anything. I'm not an escapist. I'm aware the body has become overweight. The overweight is body, not consciousness. Consciousness doesn't have to lose weight. Very nice. Disease is in the body, the physical body and the pranic body. That's also an object. I was aware of the healthy body, I am aware of the sickness in the body. Then I, the awareness, am free of the health and sickness of the body. I am ever healthy. Nothing can disturb my health. I was aware of the young body. I am aware of the old body. A great Vedantic scholar, Vachaspati Mishra, 1,000 years ago, writing in his masterpiece Bhamati, he says, I who was aware of playing on my grandfather's lap, now I'm aware of my grandson playing on my lap. So this body has gone from the little boy to this old man's body. I am the same consciousness. Which one am I? The Swami, you are playing with words. I am all of that. I am the body. I'm the young body and the middle-aged body and the old body, all of that. This one and that one also. That's just plain silliness. Two things which are different. You can't be both at the same time. In Hindi, one monk said, somebody said, "Amade dono hi ho." And the teacher said, "Wah, gada bhi aur ghoda bhi." You are the ass and the horse also, both together. These, you admit these are changing. And you admit you are unchanging. Then how can you be the same thing? How can the changing and unchanging be the same thing? If somebody is running past you, if you catch hold of that person, either that person will stop or you will be dragged along. You can't remain steady and unchanging, and that person can't keep running. Similarly, you catch hold of the body and say, I am this body, and I am unchanging, and the body is changing from childhood to middle age to old age to death. So then I cannot be the body. So this ever-changing body from birth to middle age to old age to death, it is an object. I am free of the changes of I, the awareness, am free of old age, of disease, of death. They are in the body, no escapism. In fact, this is reality. What we are doing is a kind of delusion, a dream. We're sleepwalking through life. I am getting old. I am so afraid. I am getting all these problems and disease. In the worst, most diseased, most sickly, dying body also, you, the awareness, are perfectly all right. As awareness. Of course you deal with the problems, but the problems are in the body. Keep things where they belong, and more so with the mind. Misery in the mind. I'm so miserable, I'm depressed, Swami. Depression is in the mind. You admit it yourself. It's an object. Do you see it? Do you experience it? Yes, I experience it. That's why I'm saying I'm depressed. No, because you experience depression, you are not depressed. Look at the chutzpah of the Jewish word, chutzpah. Look at the chutzpah of Vedanta. We say, I am miserable because I experience misery. And Vedanta says, because you experience misery, you cannot be miserable. You are the awareness ever free of misery. Because you have admitted, you are the awareness which saw the mind free of misery. You are the awareness which is seeing the mind free in misery. So you are not tied to the misery of the mind. You were there when the misery was not there. You are there when the misery is there. And you will be there when the misery is gone again. Therefore, the misery doesn't belong to you. Between the eternal and the non-eternal, there can be no relationship. It's a stunning statement. We, the eternal consciousness, we build up relationships with so many things in this world. To hear this fact that there can be no relationship really between the eternal and non-eternal, it's assumed. This relationship is assumed. It will go away one day. Relationship requires two terms. The second term, that with which we set up a relationship with people, with objects, with places, with ideas, with memories, with a body, all of these will come and go. Because you are eternal. None of them persist with you. That's why in devotional literature, you say the only possible relationship is between you and God, between two eternalities. In a dualistic devotional setting. That's true. So, you are free of disease, death, aging. You are ever free of depression, the fleeting pleasures and pains of the mind. You are safe. You are fine, really. You always were. We are that ever free, ever unlimited consciousness right now. And if we reflect upon any problem which comes up, don't worry, lots of challenges, ways to test this will come. Life will present it. You will see moment to moment it will come. Every little annoyance, every little problem, every little thing that we don't like is a good place to test this. Does it come and go? Yeah, it comes and goes. But Swami, even when it is there, it's particularly unpleasant. But when it is there, is it an object? Are you aware of it? Of course. In that case, you know that you are not it. Yes. You are not it. It's not in you. It's an appearance in you. Therefore, you are free of it, even when it is there. Enjoy it. It's like a movie screen complaining about, I like the comedies, but I hate the horror movies. Screen doesn't complain because the screen knows these are pictures. These are appearances. They entirely depend upon me, but I don't depend upon them. And I am completely free of them. But those movies, those pictures are not free of me because they can't exist without me. None of these appearances can exist without you, the consciousness. You can exist without them. In fact, you do exist without them. Here we are going dangerously close into non-dual territory. Those who have done non-duality will recognize this is this doorway to dissolving all the seen back into the seer. We started, remember, with seer and seen distinction. But ultimately, whatever is seen must be resolved back into you, the seer. None of, we say that you see it, therefore it's different from you. I'll just make a point here and then stop. This is duality. Right now, what we have achieved till now, clearly it's duality. Seer and seen, drashta and drishya, object and subject, awareness and its objects. They're distinct. To them. We're talking about two. And many, because consciousness is one, but many, many objects. Not only consciousness is one. We get the feeling that so many people here, 90 people here. So each body and mind must have a separate consciousness. Maybe. The consciousness is one, but many consciousnesses. So from here to go to one consciousness, and whatever is experienced in that one consciousness is dissolved back into that consciousness. That will be non-duality. That's not our subjectivity, but I'll give you a beautiful door which will take you into that. One great teacher put it so beautifully. I'll tell you in Hindi and then translate what he said. दृष्टा तो दृश्य से अलग है स्वामी जी, सो ठीक है. कभी आपने सोचा है क्या दृश्य दृष्टा से अलग है? The seen are distinct from the seer. Correct. None of this is wrong, what we have done. But wait a minute. Think about it. The seen are distinct from the seer. The seer is distinct from the seen. The drashta is different from the drishya. The seer is distinct from the seen. But think about it. Are the seen distinct from the seer? What do you mean? The screen is distinct from everything in the movie. The movie screen. It's not the hero, it's not the villain, it's not the comedy, it's not the horror show, it's not the science fiction show, it's a screen. But all the movies and all the characters in the movies and all the happenings in the movie, are they distinct from the screen? Do they exist hang in the air? No. They are nothing but the screen. They are pictures and sound. They depend entirely on the screen. The water is distinct from all the waves. What do you mean by that? The water can exist without the waves. Calm ocean. Or it can be water vapor, or it can be water in the bottle, no waves. But can the waves exist without the water? No. Gold can exist without being a necklace or a bracelet. But the golden necklace or the golden bracelet, can it exist without the gold? No. Therefore, it's a doorway to non-duality. We started by separating seer and seen. Correct? The seer is distinct from the seen, but the seen are actually not distinct from the seer. No more than all the people you see in your dreams are distinct from you, the dreamer. All the places you visit in your dreams are distinct from you, the dreamer. They are not distinct. They are all you appearing as your own objects in the dream. Similarly, they are all you, the witness consciousness, appearing as its own object. But anyway, that's non-duality, that comes later. Now, a little exercise. I'll just give it to you now and then we take a few questions. I'm going to jump ahead to the end of the book, 24th verse, towards the end. He gives 6 meditation techniques. I'll take up just one. It is to drive home this, to make it real. You know, at this point, one might say, hopefully, I heard what you said. That's it, in itself, it's a great game. If I can say confidently, I've heard what you said. Second, I even get it. If there are people who can say this confidently, I get what you are saying. I have a feel for it, yes. But you still, one might protest, it's not really a realization for me, it's not really real for me. Then these meditation techniques are for you, to stay with it. Swami Vivekananda says that to assimilate it, he says, till it tingles with every drop of your blood, that I am that witness consciousness. Soham. That's the process of assimilation. Meditation technique. Let me introduce you to one, and then we will stop. This is the 24th verse. Kamadhyas chittaga drishya, Kamadhya chittaga drishya, Tat sakshitvena chetanam, sakshitvena chetanam, Dhyaye drishyanu vidhoyam, Dhyaye drishyanu vidhoyam, Samadhi savikalpaka, Samadhi savikalpaka. What does it mean? Take up any object. What object, Swami? Relax, sit straight, and close your eyes. Breathe normally. This has to settle the body. Breathe normally. You may even count 10 breaths in and out. That's just to settle the pranic body. Then in the mind, go deeper, and deeper means more inward. Thoughts, ideas, questions, feelings. Take up any one. He says take up anything. You could take up a doesn't have to be a particularly holy thought. He just says, kama, desire. Take up desire. Adi, extra, etc. You can take up desire, you can take up greed, you can take up anger, or you can take up a nicer feeling, or a thought, om. Take up any thought. Swami, no thought is coming. The problem of the mind, when I try to control it, too many thoughts. When I try to tell the mind, think a thought, no thought. The mind is a rascal. It doesn't listen to anything I say. Good. Even the absence of thought, that's also good. All you have to do is tat sakshittvena chetana. It's an object. Whatever comes in the mind, any thought, idea, memory, or no thought, it's an object. I am awareness to whom this object is appearing or not appearing. Next. No next. You are that awareness, you always were, you are, and you are that, you will be that, choicelessly. Stay there. Whatever comes, whatever experience is happening, like my own voice, all it is, it reminds you you are that awareness. And then, put things where they are. Where is pain? In the body. Where is doubt? In the mind, not in me, awareness. I reveal the pain in the body and doubt in the mind. Where is impatience? In the mind. I, the ever-patient awareness, reveals the impatience of the mind. Where is any problem? Notice, it is never a problem with awareness. It's always a problem in the world, or the body, or the prana, or the mind. Even the little ego, which is seeking enlightenment, freedom, that's also an object. It's in the mind. I, the awareness, I am not seeking any pleasure of the world. I am not seeking any acquisition in the world. I am not seeking any merit in the world. I am not even seeking liberation. Na dharmo, na chartho, na kamo, na moksha. Why? Chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham. I am of the nature of pure consciousness and bliss. I am Shiva. I am Shiva. Alright, we'll go into some questions. Few questions. Alright, the gentleman here, somebody will come to you with a, somebody will come to you with a microphone. Raise your hand, they're going to come to you with a microphone. And you can ask the question. Tell us your name and ask the question. Please come, this gentleman. This is mostly for the internet audience so that they can hear your question.
Swamiji, so this Sakshi that we're
Tell us your name, if you're comfortable. You don't want to tell us your name, it's also.
My name is Shekhar Swamiji. I've been listening to your lectures for many years, and it's a thrilling experience to see you in person. I've been only virtual audience, but being a physical audience.
I was in Delhi earlier this year. I remember I overheard two teenage boys outside, just outside the gate. They were talking about me. One was telling the other, I told you he was real.
So, Drishya Viveka, I know that you are real. You are an object in my appearance.
Yes.
So this consciousness, witness that you are referring to, and taking the analogy of the ocean and the wave and the water, etc. The wave is the result of the movement of the water in the ocean. How does this consciousness move, or what makes it move for the appearance?
All right. Outside today's syllabus. Your question is no, really, it's the bridge between duality and non-duality. Why? I mean, see, the reason I introduced it is because I always feel I should point you towards the ultimate teaching of Advaita Vedanta, which is not what we are doing today. It is the next step, which is non-duality. And your question is, all right, I admit that non-duality, waves are nothing but water, but then there is movement in the water. There is a wind. Somebody pointed out to me. Look, that wave and water example doesn't appeal to me, Swami. I am a trained physicist, and there's wind, and that generates waves in the water. Sri Ramakrishna's answer, Upama Agdeshi. Examples are made to point out one thing. It's like saying, the man is as brave as a lion. Now you immediately understand what is meant. It means that person is brave if lions are brave. National Geographic says different. Yet lions are supposed to be big cowards. But anyway. Is as brave as a lion. Right? Doesn't mean that he goes on all fours and roars and pounces on you. It just means a person is supposed to be brave. One point only is being pointed out. What is the point that's being made with the waves and the water? That the waves comprise nothing more than water. If you touch a wave, if you put your hand, is going to get wet. It's water. But how the wave was generated, what are the dynamics and the energies involved in generating and maintaining the wave, and why does it subside? All of that is good as science. It's not part of the example. So, if your question is, fine, the wave is generated by movements in the water, but how is the drishya, the object, generated in consciousness? The answer in Advaita Vedanta would be, it is not. How does my mind in a dream become people and places and dogs and cats? And answer would be, it doesn't. It just appears like that. How does a movie screen, this is a simple thing, how does it become a spaceship and Earth and Mars and a journey from Earth to Mars? It doesn't. Those are pictures appearing on the screen. There's no Mars there, no Earth there, no journey there. So this universe is an appearance in consciousness. Consciousness appears as its own object. It doesn't become. So how does consciousness appear as this object? Going into really profound waters, I'll have to introduce Maya. We won't do that today. Then the whole thing will come to a standstill. But anyway, but that's what you're asking is the next level in Vedanta, in Drishya Viveka, which we will not touch today. The gentleman there, and then we'll come here to this gentleman. Tell us your name and ask the question.
I'm Srihari, and again, it's a pleasure seeing you in person, as he said. I've been following you for a while as well. As I was listening to you, I was thinking, we're all breathing all the time, but we are not consciously aware that we are breathing and it's happening. Right? The same process, this consciousness that we have in the meditation that you took us, we are thinking in some ways about our thought processes. Right? So we are looking at what's going on, we are observing our own thoughts. So is this consciousness, although it's present, only activated when we consciously think about it?
No.
Versus
it's
like
not.
How the breathing is only made aware when
I
we focus on it?
Understand what you're saying. It's like there's this consciousness studies expert, Susan Blackmore. She's written the very short introduction to consciousness in Oxford. Very short introduction series. So she says exactly that question. She says, look, consciousness is a bit like when you open a refrigerator, there's a light which goes on. Right? Is the light on when the door is closed? We'll never know because open it, it's there. If you close it, is the light there or not? We say it is not there, but who knows? Like Schrodinger's experiment. Who knows? No, it's not like that. First of all, not this consciousness. I. You own it up. That I am this consciousness, not my consciousness. Otherwise the problem will be, I get it. My consciousness is free of aging, but I am getting older. My consciousness is a witness to everything in the world, but my son doesn't listen to me. No, I the consciousness. I the awareness. Otherwise what happens is, why are we like this then? If I am pure consciousness, for example, that's a question we'll take up in the next session. What has happened? Why are we clearly don't see it that way. Please guide us from that to this, or from this to that. From this to that we went. Body is the form, eyes are the seer, forms are there, eyes are the seer, eyes are seeing, mind is the seer, mind is seen, consciousness is. So we went from here to our real nature. But then why have we come there? Why are we in this stage? That's the question. No, so straight answer to your question is no. It doesn't get activated, consciousness doesn't get activated when we pay attention to it. Who is the we who's paying attention? This paying attention is an activity of the mind. So mind is like focused. And we will see in the next section which we will do. Consciousness is as it were reflected by the mind, channelized by the mind. That is what we normally feel as consciousness. Right now if you ask people, are you conscious, are you aware? Everybody will say yes. I don't know what you exactly mean by consciousness or awareness, but I think I am aware. I am conscious right now. That is consciousness reflected, channeled in the mind. We feel it right now. So the kind of consciousness we want to feel, right? We feel right now, I'm aware. Is this Atman, is this witness consciousness? No. That which is feeling that one, which can never be objectified. But this consciousness which we feel right now is as an element of objectivity. That's why you can say, this consciousness. It's like, I am objectifying this consciousness, or consciousness objectifying itself. That cannot happen with pure consciousness. That's the one which is objectifying everything else. So it's not something that gets activated or deactivated. This feeling of getting activated, deactivated is a kind of self-awareness which the mind does. But when the mind is self-aware, you are aware, consciousness is there. When the mind is not self-aware, you are aware. I'll give you the difference between this. It's Mihai Csikszentmihalyi in the book Flow, he has talked about it. So for example, when you're in a state of deep absorption, concentration, your self-awareness goes away. So a tennis player who's playing with intense absorption, a neuroscientist or a neurosurgeon who's doing it with tremendous delicacy and concentration is doing an operation, performing an operation. For long periods, these people, they lose self-awareness. If they were self-aware, they could not do the job with great accuracy and precision. Whether it's playing a musical instrument, playing a game of tennis at professional level, or doing a neuroscientific, like a neurosurgery. Such delicate, complex, very sophisticated task cannot be performed if a part of the mind is aware of itself. So they lose self-awareness at that time. It goes away. But it's a very high state of focus. Now, question will be, in that high state of focus, was consciousness there or not? Yes, of course. Was it an experience? They talk about flow experience, peak experience. It's an experience. If experience is there, consciousness is there. I'll give you another example. This Greg Good, Sufi said. We can do it right now. I can show you what is meant by what I was talking about. He is a psychologist in New York, and he uses Vedanta for his therapy. So he, in fact, he told me that he actually started his interest in Vedanta meeting Adishwaranand in New York long ago. One experiment he has designed, just to point out what I was just saying. Let's locate. The question is, who am I? We'll look. It is a trick at the end of it, twist in the tail. We'll see. Who am I? All right, I'm going to locate myself. Right now, we will all locate I. Who am I? Now, you sit straight, visually, just mentally, imagine that there is a horizontal line going through your waist. Horizontal line going through your waist. Below your waist, above your waist. Locate your eye. If I challenge you, where is the feeling of I? Is it above the waist or is it below the waist? My eye is in my knees or in my ankle. I am there in the ankle. Do you feel that or do you feel it's above? Yeah, you don't seem too confident. Swami, I am here, all of it, but yeah, I am above. I am above the waist. All right, very good. Draw another line parallel through, just below your chest, like this, mentally. Below the chest, above the chest. Where am I? I feel I am here in the tummy or I am above that line in the chest or above? Above. I feel I am above, somewhere there. Okay, I. Then draw a line like this through the throat. Parallel to the ground, through the throat, parallel to the ground. Above the neck, below the neck. Where am I? Some might say that I am here in the chest, I feel here. But most would feel I am above. If I locate myself, if you force me, Swami, to choose one, I will choose I am somewhere in the head, above the neck. Alright, if you feel I am there in the chest, that also we'll see. But suppose I am in the head, somewhere here. And that's pretty obvious. There's nothing surprising about it. Because so many of the sense organs are in the head. Eyes, ears, nose, and the skin is very sensitive on the face and the lips. Tongue is in the mouth. So a lot of sense receptors are here. That's why a sense of self is here in the head. It's not a very surprising thing. Not because it's the brain. We are not sensible of the brain at all, but because of these sense organs. Alright, somewhere here, right? Yeah, I'm somewhere here. Alright, draw two lines, one like this mentally and one like this. Trifurcate the head, the skull. Are you on this side or in the middle somewhere? Middle. I feel I'm here somewhere. I personally feel I'm here somewhere. Behind the eye, somewhere behind the eye, I am here. somewhere behind the eyes, maybe somewhere here, just behind. If you feel like that, somewhere here, try to locate yourself. Where would you say, if you're forced to say, locate a sense of the I am here. Like some kind of nugget behind the eyes, I am here. Steady yourself in that. Now, this experience of I am here, somewhere behind the eyes like a nugget. To whom, to what is that appearing? You can never objectify that. That is the witness consciousness. But you can never objectify it. You are that. Now, what Vedanta tells you is, don't try to objectify it. Don't try to find out who or what you are. Be very clear about what you are not. You are not this nugget right behind the eye. That's also an experience. That's also the mind. That's also an object. But to what is it an object? What is the seer? That's a clue. That's a good experiment. The gentleman here. Can you get the microphone here? Tell us your name and ask the question. I'll take one more question. Please raise your hand. The lady there. The ladies have not asked any questions, so the lady there will go there next.
Hi, my name is Abhishek.
Abhishek.
My question is like, I'm a very novice.
Keep it near your mouth.
I'm very novice in Vedanta. So, like, right after we go out from this session, there are different things that come up, like the interaction with other people. There is different emotions of anger, jealousy, love, every kind of emotion. So how in a practical way we can use Vedanta to keep ourselves calm and
Right. But look, first of all, Abhishek, you're here, you're listening to this talk. When you go out there, there's the other people and you talk to people, different situations will arise. Will you have any trouble being Abhishek?
no,
Will you have to make some special practice for being Abhishek?
no,
Any effort?
no.
And what Vedanta is telling you, that you are that awareness, this awareness, ever trouble-free, without any effort, without any practice. It's not something to be maintained. It's already there. Just like I am, you say I am Abhishek. You don't even always think that you're Abhishek. So when somebody asks you, what's your name? You say I am Abhishek. Immediately you recall that. When any situation challenges you, this is a problem. Mind is getting upset. That person is being annoying. Or this traffic is too heavy on the freeway. It's a minor annoyance. That awareness to which it is being revealed, that awareness is perfectly alright. You see, the meditation technique which we did, Kamadhyas chittaga vrishya, that sakshitvena chetanam. Whatever annoying thing that comes up in the world, in the body, in the mind, they are objects. To me, the awareness who is ever free of these objects. It's an annoyance-free awareness. It's an illness-free awareness. It's a death-free awareness. And that is what I am. But that is not your question, actually. Your question goes, it can be refined further. That's great, Swami. But next, the annoyance, I understand, it's a movement in the mind. And it comes when there is an upsetting situation outside. Nobody denies there's annoyance, there is upset, there is unhappiness. You're just saying, okay, it's something in the mind, and I agree, I am awareness, and there's an annoyance and upset in the mind. Now, how does Vedanta deal with it? Two things. One is this knowledge, when you refer back, I am fine. I, the awareness, am fine. Abhishek is awareness. Abhishek is not body, not the unhappy or annoyed mind. He is the awareness free of the problems of the body, free of the annoyance of the mind. Abhishek is fine. This knowledge, this reflection, where will it be? It's in the mind. This will calm down the mind.
So,
One.
like separating
It is separated.
yourself from the mind and the body and
Correct.
kind of taking a step back.
Taking a step back. I always remember one sadhu put it so beautifully in the Himalayas, in Uttarakhand, he would say, ये साधन जो होता है ना महात्मा जी थोड़ा पीछे हटके होता है. This Spiritual practice, all kinds of spiritual practice, especially Vedanta. You step back a little. Step back, take one step back. Here you step back. In Bhakti, you would step back into the lap of God. In yoga, you would step back into the witness, awareness of the mind and consciousness. Calm the mind down. Step back from the external world into the mind and calm it down. In Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta, you step back into the ultimate reality, that it is the movie screen. And we are not trying to fight problems with metaphors of movie screen, water and wave and gold. No. We're trying to fight the problems of the world with this knowledge. But there's another part to it, where all the other yogas become useful. Karma yoga. My mind is restless and annoyed. If my attitude towards the world is, I am selfless, I do not want anything from anybody or any situation, mind will be very relaxed. Karma yoga makes you peaceful in different situations. Bhakti yoga. Behind me is the Lord of the universe. Who can do anything to me? As long as He keeps me safe, I am perfectly alright. If He does not keep me safe, nothing can save me in the world. I am holding on to the feet of the Lord. Bhakti saves me. Bhakti will keep you calm in spite of difficult situations. Definitely. Especially Bhakti. Why? This is not a class of Bhakti. Most of our problems are emotional problems, not philosophical problems. And so Bhakti takes care of that very powerfully, because all the emotions are channelized and towards God. Complete surrender, holding on to the Lord, that takes care of problems. Yoga takes care of the problems. Yoga recognizes these are more modifications of the mind. Focus, one great secret is the mind can entertain only one thing at a time. So restlessness in the mind, replace it with the mantra, replace it with the awareness of the breath, like the Buddhists do. That restlessness is forced out because the mind can hold on to only one thing at a time. That is the yogic approach. Advaita is the ultimate approach. Nishkama karma, selflessness, gives you peace of mind. Devotion to God gives you great peace of mind. Yogic meditation gives you a deeper peace of mind. Advaita Vedanta Jnana Yoga gives you the reality, which is not peace of mind, which is peace itself. Atman, consciousness is peace itself. In Mandukya Upanishad, Shantam, Shivam, Chaturtham Manyante, 7th mantra, it says, your nature is not that you are peaceful, you are peace itself. The mind is sometimes peaceful, sometimes restless. You are peace itself. That's a very peaceful way of ending this first session. Thank you. Enjoy that.
Ask a small question.
Okay, ask, but we will. I'll see if I can answer it later.
Question is like from a novice to go above. Is it a good practice to listen to someone in Vedanta, or to read, or how to move forward?
Both. Listen and read. Both will come under Shravana. Listen and read for yourself. Then Manana and then Nidhyasana. Good. Very good. We shall reassemble again at
12:10
12:10. 12:10.
for sure.